All right, guys, how's it going? Today we are in the final lesson of Unit 6, Earth's Place in the Universe. Today we're going to look at formation of the solar system and the galaxies and the universe. Now, this is a very explored but unexplored question. That question is, how did the Earth, galaxies, and universe come into existence? I've talked prior about how there's no definite answer to this. There's a lot of theories, some more established than others, but ultimately this is a question we haven't solved. It's the biggest question and probably the most important question we could ever ask ourselves in science. So it's one we're going to kind of just skim the surface of, and I'll let you guys explore it further if you are interested. Creation of the universe. Of course, there's lots of theories of how the universe was created. The most popular one, the one that we kind of cover in school, is the Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory, essentially, if I was to sum it up, it says that the universe started as a singularity, and the singularity was infinitely dense and infinitely superheated, basically. And at one point, about 13.8 billion years ago, that singularity basically erupted, and it caused a massive expansion. And with that expansion, there was supercooling of the energy that the singularity was composed of. And there's different eras along the chain of that singularity cooling. There's the radiation era and the matter era. So there's a lot of gaps that exist in the Big Bang Theory, and a lot of them exist between the changing of energy to matter, because that's what essentially it says, is that the singularity was an infinitely hot, dense piece of energy, and when that energy combusted, all of the energy that expanded and cooled actually existed of particles that were even smaller than subatomic particles, talking about like protons, neutrons, electrons. And then there's the quark theory, and then basically that converted into the first couple elements that we have in the universe, particularly helium, and that formed the matter era. And then the matter era is where everything comes from. That's when things like galaxies and stars, these things started to form. So this is the Big Bang Theory. That's a rough summary of it, but it's pretty in-depth, and there's a lot of different stages, of course, because we have, cosmic inflation in 14 billion years to cover. So a lot happened in that 14 billion years that they believed. And through the Big Bang Theory, this is where we believe all of matter, space, energy, time. It's where all of this has been created from, is from a small singularity. And we'll talk about some of the inconsistencies with that theory as well. Galaxies formed from vast clouds of dust and gas that actually collapsed under their own gravitational pull from matter era. So when the Big Bang happened and the matter era birthed through these clumps of matter that existed throughout of all the cosmic space in the universe, some of the dust and gas collected to form planets and stars, and first stars, then planets. But basically, the cooling and the gravitational pull pulled these pieces of matter together and basically clumped them into what they believe is the first couple galaxies. So we have, black holes in the center of the galaxies, and then around them is the stars, and then around stars is the birth of solar systems, so the form of the solar system. And it's essentially the same concept, which is just cooling and compressed matter under the weight of gravity. So whether it's planets, even moons, some moons are believed to be birthed from asteroid collisions like that of our moon, but other moons and planets are collapsed dust and gas clouds. So our solar system birthed somewhere around 100 million, or somewhere between 100 million years and 4.5 billion years ago. And I realize that's a large gap, but that's kind of the window that they're playing with. Is the sun was birthed, and then around 100 million years, the actual solar system, one at a time, started to build itself through compressed matter under gravitational pull. Inconsistencies that really exist within the model. First is origin of singularity. You got to ask yourself, okay, it's that age-old question Stephen Hawking says is, what was first, the chicken or the egg, right? So they say the singularity was first, but then what came before the singularity, right? So it's this never-ending pattern of what was first, what was first, what was first. But they don't exactly know. Also, too, they say the amount of matter that we have, there should be just as enough dark matter. I'm not going to go into what dark matter is. It'd take us all day, but they've not been able to conclusively find dark matter out within our universe. So that's another really big inconsistency. Some of the inconsistencies they have solved, like the lithium and lithium biomarkers that they supposedly found off of the edge of the sun. If you guys could look up some of that. So some of these things they've solved, but some of these are just some of the ones that they haven't. Scale of the universe is so great that we can't exactly explore it. So you got to think. Time is birthed from the Big Bang Theory as well. So as the universe basically inflates, we call it cosmic inflation, and it spaces out, and basically the speed of which energy can travel is the rate at which our universe is expanding still to this day. So for us, we'll never catch up to be able to view everything that's out in front of us, because we can never catch up to the speed of light or the speed of energy. We'll never catch that. So the scale of the universe is so great, and there's such a large gap of time. And even if we started in the same instance that the Big Bang started, we would never catch up to the scale of the universe. A lot of the universal beliefs of the Big Bang Theory actually violate the laws of conservation of mass or the conservation of energy. Energy can't be created or destroyed. Matter can't be created or destroyed. And they don't switch between the two. It's a lot of those laws are being violated by the Big Bang Theory, which makes a lot of scientists question the loopholes and gaps. And then just briefly, the geometry of the universe is relatively flat, which doesn't exactly add up with cosmic inflation and the proposed explanation for matter and dark matter. That's probably too much for this one video, but that is essentially the formation of the solar system, stars, galaxies, and universe. Unexplored topic. There's a lot you can find out on the internet, and a lot we don't know and may never know. But it's always good to keep discovering.